Prepare the match without an early kick-off, uncertainty about what the opposition was going to do, and even with those conditions the team I think performed really well. A lot of new relationship on the pitch that you can start to see how they flourish, and 3 goals, a clean sheet, 3 points, so overall very positive.
Yeah, I thought the players gave everything they could. They tried. They had the right kind of endeavour. I think the second goal, sort of pushed the game away from us. But it's been a really disruptive week for the players. You can only understand, and I tried to sort of keep things really simple this week. We've only had one training session together, but hopefully from now on we can sort of start betting in some of the principles we need to.
Great combinations in the wide positions. Both wide players play very well.
Both of them, I think they were terrific. A real threat with their own qualities, so different in the way that they create danger, a threat and unpredictability to the opponent, but very pleased.
He's tricky, isn't he? Madueke is like an old-fashioned winger, really bang, goes for it.
Yeah, that's that I said, that they are very different. We need to use them because it will require different profiles around them as well to maximize the qualities as they have, but they are both in a good moment.
Very direct. Is that what Mikel tells you to be direct? Just take them on.
That's the only way I really know how to play, to be positive every time I get the ball. Try and find my teammates, and job of a winger is to go past the fullback and try and create as much as possible. So that's what I try and do every time I step on the pitch.
Well, Arteta eulogising about his wingers today, and in fact, the front three had real combinations, didn't they?
Yeah, you can include Gyökeres in that danger zone for Arsenal today. I thought that was really impressive from the start of the game. As we know Eze's quality, but now we're seeing it in an Arsenal shirt. He can just go past his man with ease. The game seems so simple for him. I really liked Madueke today. He was so positive and aggressive. He gave Morata a tough game. He's just standing up. You can kind of see they're looking for Gyökeres already in this early part of the season. But here he is. He's only got one thought in his mind. Can I get to that byline, which is such a dangerous place for a defence when a player gets there and he cuts it back? Is unlucky. And then Eze, what I like about him is he can go inside or outside. So as a fullback, you're pretty stuck. Here he's getting to the byline as well, getting in there. Same man Gyökeres is looking for it. It must be a dream for a striker to play with. Then you get this just after half time. One pretty simple ball. That's perfect. That's a perfect pass on the half volley across for Gyökeres, gets his goal. And then this is just another example just of the link-up play between the three of them. And already they're finding that bit of chemistry. You can see that they're enjoying playing with each other. Gyökeres continues with his run. Madueke waits, slips him in, hits the post on that one. Madueke again now second half. It's Nico Williams that's up against him, and when you think maybe he's took too long, the move's over. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. Slows it up, waits for Timber, and then Declan Rice. If he goes with his left foot there, it's probably another goal.
Do you like the fact that they're slightly different as wingers, the two of them, as Jonathan said in the interviews, that Madueke is probably a bit more direct? Yeah, so they're similar and different, if that makes sense, because they can both go past the player with ease. But Madueke seems to be a bit more aggressive in the way that he attacks his fullback, whereas Eze slows it down a little bit and just glides past fullbacks. But both of them, I think, for Gyökeres, are going to be great this season. It's such a game where you really saw the benefits of Arsenal's transfer window today, wasn't it?
Well, he has spent a lot, but the likes of obviously Saka, Odegaard went off injured today. Saliba missing, Jesus, Havertz is out as well. So again, the strength and depth now, which they have Champions League, Premier League, and this is probably the strongest squad I think Arteta has had. It really has. This is their opportunity, I feel, to win the Premier League this season. And if he can keep the majority of this squad fit, even Zubimendi today scoring a header, that's a rarity, isn't it? But 2 goals for him as well today. He's built a really strong squad, and he must believe, and they must believe, this is their year. You see there on that graphic, the first 5 of their most expensive signings this summer all starting today. Just as far as Nottingham Forest are concerned and Ange Postecoglou, this is not the game in which you judge what difference he is going to make. This is going to take time. No, I think today he was probably just looking, really, to see what he's got. He wants to be around him, but he hasn't had enough time to judge him. But what will be interesting is in 3 or 4 weeks, how he sets this Nottingham Forest team up. Does he go back to the way Tottenham started last season, or is he a little bit more reserved of what the Forest team are used to and how they've got a bit of glory recently? Right, West Ham secured a much-needed win.
Mikel, back to winning ways in the Premier League. What did you enjoy about that out there?
Well, very good after the international break, and the players been away for a long, long time. It's always a question mark how they're going to react, how we're going to glide and connect together again. And I think the team certainly did that to win the Premier League 3-0. Another clean sheet, very important as well. Some players, some of them that it was the first time starting as well, having big performances. So overall, very good.
Should we talk about Martin Zubimendi then? Because that was quite an incredible opener, but then the technique in the header in the second half as well.
Unbelievable. 2 very difficult goals in terms of execution. But I think he's coming the team, he's coming at the club, and you feel a real presence, a real authority in everything that he does on that pitch as well. And if he can on top of that contribute in the scoreline with goals, what else can we ask?
In terms of your attacking threats today, first time, as you said, we'd seen those 3 start. 1 scored, 1 assist, and 1 got a standing ovation coming off. Could you ask for more?
I think they were very good, the 3 of them, with their own qualities, but complementing each other really well. Noni, I think, was outstanding again. Looks a real threat. Victor, very intelligent. He could have scored 2 or 3. Again, today, Nep's giving you something else, a different kind of flow, different connections, and very unpredictable as well.
Are you going to have a tough time going forward when Bukayo comes back? I mean, Martinelli's still there in the mix. It's a tough choice, or did you really like what you saw with that front 3?
This is what we want. When you look around the other clubs and the other teams and the squad that they've built, we all have the same. If we want to be competing at the highest level, you need that. Because look, we lost already Kai for 3 or 4 months. We lost Bukayo now 4 weeks as well, and we need those replacements. If not in the Premier League, it's so tough.
Maybe the only cloud this afternoon, Martin Odegaard coming off?
Yeah, to come off I think it's the same shoulder that he hurt last time. He wasn't comfortable to continue. So, that's a shame because he played with the national team. He was feeling good, and suddenly something happened again.
Do you expect him to be available Tuesday? Champions League back on the horizon?
He certainly is going to be doing everything from now on to be ready for Tuesday. I guarantee you that, but I don't know.
All right, we'll wait and see. Well done today. Thank you, Mikel.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Mikel Arteta delighted with his front 3. We've spoken.
Done. What are your thoughts after that?
Obviously disappointing outcome for us. Look, they're a good side, and here at home they're a tough proposition anyway. Can't fault the lads' effort. I thought they tried really hard. We were really able to get grips of the game. I think the second goal straight after half time just sort of allowed them to get away from us. So disappointing outcome, but like I said, can't fault the effort of the lads.
How much of an evolution do you hope or expect from your side now in the next couple of weeks, now that you can get into some training sessions even?
Yeah, look, that's exactly right. Sort of, this week's, fair to say, was fairly disruptive for the players. International week as well, so they didn't get in till Thursday, Friday. So, they're seeing a new manager. I'm trying to implement new things, and it's only understandable that they probably haven't got clarity of thought at the moment. But that's my job to now sort of try and embed that over the next few weeks. I'm sure we will, because there's a willing group of players to do that.
You started today with 7 of the new signings on the bench, obviously integrated during the game. Do you hope to integrate them more in the next couple of weeks? May you have a bit of a new look team potentially?
Yeah, there's opportunities. We've certainly got enough games. We've got Carabao Cup on Wednesday, then we've got sort of Europe kicking off, so there'll be plenty of games they'll all play. I was encouraged by the performances of the lads who came on today. That's why they were signed. But again, they've only had a small time to integrate into the team, so I'm sure with some training and some opportunities to play, we'll be able to see how they can contribute.
Has today given you an idea of where you want to start, or did you already know that before today's game?
Yeah, no, you have a fair idea, but I mean, as I said, it hasn't been an ideal prep for the players, and you've got to take that into account. And all you can ask for is, effort and endeavour, and they gave that. And we faced a very good opponent today, which unfortunately was a bridge too far.
For these guys, they have lost back-to-back Premier League games before your time and now this game. What is your message to them at this moment in time?
Look, they're disappointed. I don't have to point that out. Like you said, they're a group of players who showed last year just how hard they fight for each other, and there's disappointment today, but there's only one way to rectify that. We've got a game Wednesday night, and we've got to make sure we make amends, and like I said, it gives me a chance to start working with the players now.
And one final question, a bigger job than what you thought it was going to be, or exactly as you knew it would be?
They're all big jobs. I haven't taken over an easy one yet, so at the same time, that's why I'm here. I love the challenge, and we'll get to where we want to.
Murillo, just quickly, he came off injured.
Yeah, it looks like just a knock, so hopefully, with a bit of rest, he should be okay. So nothing significant.
Lovely. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, they'll be hoping that's not a bad injury to Murillo. He's such a talismanic player for them. Ange Postecoglou, though, saying it's obviously been a tough day for the players, but it's been a disruptive week for them as well, Martin. How much does that have to be taken into consideration?
Well, we were talking about it before the game, and it was a point I was raising that, you know, the disruption, obviously, with Nuno was a really good manager for lots of the players. I remember Arsene Wenger coming in and a sit-down meeting with him and said, "What are you doing here? I was doing quite well with the last manager." How stupid was I, by the way, what he was to do for the football club? So it is disruptive, it's unsettling. You know, they've not had a very good start, but you know, the players away on international duty. We'll start to judge them as we travel on. They've got Swansea coming up. They've got games now against Burnley and Sunderland that they can win. They're very much winnable. So no, I think they would have learned a lot today about the characters, and he'll build on this. And I expect him to start turning it around.
It's 3 away games in a row as well, so he's not going to be able to tap into that famous atmosphere at the City ground just yet. But as Martin said, those games against Burnley and Sunderland really stand out. He's got to hit the ground running in those.
Yeah, really important games. Obviously, they need to get some wins on the board. I think you can't read too much into today. As I said before, I think Arsenal are going to dismantle a good few teams this season, certainly at home. But those games are the games where we can kind of see, we might be able to see some of the patterns, some of Andrew's stamp on the team, and of course, yes, to win them.
He also said that the players didn't have clarity yet as well. So if he has to get his ideas across, how long does that take?
I think it's so difficult now. I mean, look at the run of games there. I mean, they would have been jetting off all over the place on the international break. He probably worked with them, maybe 2 sessions, straight into a game. Then they've got another game midweek. They're flying away in Europe. So it's so difficult. I mean, it's just so much better for a manager if he gets a pre-season under his belt.
That's an awkward situation for him because he could almost done with a free week. So he could actually, okay, guys, day one, they're going to set this out. You know, what we're doing in possession, what's our mid-block, you know, where are we positioned on the pitch, our back line. We didn't really see much of that today. They were quite deep. Arsenal forced them back. I did think they pressed, though, early on quite high, and they're more aggressive with that, you could say. So I think we're going to see more of that. But you've got to give him a chance. You've got to give him time to build, and I'm sure he'll implement his ideas along the way.